Okay, I didn't really mean to cut that song so quick. I was trying to get ready to do something else, but here I am. Okay, hello. How are y'all? This is High Priestess Jamila. And I kind of had a little bit of delay today. I missed an appointment, which, all of my clients, I love my client that I missed the appointment for. And she, she really appreciates me. And I just wanted to say this publicly that it is very sad, and people that are doing that, unfortunately right now I still have codependent people chasing and stalking me around, trying to use psychic vampirism, parasiting. I don't call it vampirism, I call it parasiting. And these people are going to find out that it doesn't matter if I'm black. It's people that are very ignorant that think that it's okay to do it because I'm black or because of this or because of that. And they're going to find out that it was a mistake, because honestly, Spirit is very upset about it. They should not be doing that, and they are all going to find out. That's a fact. Okay. So, when I'm a little delayed, it honestly, I needed to get rest. And I constantly have a lot of sick people, people that have physical ailments, people that have mental ailments, pretty much trying to feed off of me like a blue shell crab. And they can lie. They can do whatever they want, but it is obvious to everybody in the spiritual community. And to be honest with you, let me say this quick disclaimer. There are a few frauds out there that are at the hub of that. So I've spoken about this person, or there's actually a couple of people. There's actually a few people. It must be malfunctioning then. Yeah. Or maybe push the button. I don't know. And that'll reset the battery. Okay. Um, they use other people to try to get to my energy, but it's never happened. Even in the past 5 years, it's never happened. Right. And I for one um do not give any of those people credibility, any of them that are behind it, because they do call themselves feeding and they have not reached the levels that I have. It's never going to happen. You cannot be somebody else and get what they get by doing that. It's just never going to happen. And it's really low self-esteem that a lot of these people have, which is why they move the way that they move. So I do apologize to everybody for them, but they are just looking for energy. They think that they can take people's power away from them, which they can't, which leads to the discussion that we're going to have today about the importance and the detriment of cord cutting. And this is something that a lot of you empaths, healers, shamans, even witches are not at the bottom of the totem pole. Y'all are so important because I'm a witch as well. A lot of y'all are being sought after, pursued, stalked, and these people think that they're smart enough to use our craft to glamour people and to lie to people when we can all sit and watch them and see what they're doing. I mean, they're doing it right in front of people. So it's kind of bizarre, okay? And so a lot of you guys have been greatly affected by that. You have, because of these types of people. I have clients right now that I am healing and retrieving and reclaiming themselves, because they've been fragmented. The chakras have been fragmented. The chakras have been fed upon. I honestly, my only explanation for it, honestly, and this is what my spirits have said to me, have told me, is that apparently these people resemble spiritually a parasite. Okay. And perhaps because we all know vampire witches. Vampire witches, we're not going to get into that, but that's something very different. Witches that are that have vampiric qualities do not feed off of people in that way. That's called parasiting. Okay. And so, or it could be a situation where you are dealing with a person with addiction issues. That is why it is highly discouraged for people that have chemical dependencies. We're not talking about cigarettes or marijuana. We're talking about other dependencies. This is why they are highly discouraged from practicing spiritual work, because energetically, you know how they say an addict is taking it one day at a time. If they get together in a group or either do it by themselves to target one person, you're going to end up having to take it one day at a time. But you know what? Your life is worth it. So if every day you have to have a ritual that you do, then just do it because it'll be worth it. And so, um, there is a private video for potion clients that need to cord cut. Some of us need to cord cut every day because you may even have an ex that is stalking you. Okay. Now, a lot of y'all exes, though, it's so weird. Not a lot, but some of y'all exes were kind of a part of that gang stalking energy. Either it started out that way or they became um, a part of it, via family members and things of that nature. And they think that it's going to be some reward, but it's not. So, cord cutting is a very important energy to do. And I want to talk to you guys about it. First of all, a lot of people, when they look at cord cuttings, they don't really understand. They fear you cutting the cord. They don't want you to cut the cord. They are creating the cord, right? They're creating it. So the ritual is very specific. Um, I believe that it's okay for me to go ahead and say this publicly just in case somebody that does their own work needs help. You don't want to use the same cord that they created to reclaim your energy. Stop doing that because it's never going to happen because they have already thought of that. Hello, Unica and Stevan. Hello, welcome to the chat. Um, they have thought very long and hard about parasiting off of others. So the cord that they create, you don't want to work with that at all. You want to cut their cord that they created and destroy it, and then take back your energy. You can take back your energy and power even before that, but you want to cut the cord because they are constantly trying to form cords. They're going to lie about it. In fact, that they're habitual pathological liars. Okay? When somebody that you have parted ways with, because you know why you've parted ways with that person and you want nothing to do with that person, when that person is constantly bringing you up in conversation, constantly speaking about you, they are factually trying to form a cord to you. It goes as simple as that. Now, if you're someone like me, I've been practicing witchcraft for over 25 years, right? And I was born a psychic. I was born this way, right? When you're somebody like me, they have to push harder. So what they will do is they will gang stalk. They want access to you. Yes, they will use government agencies like DFACS, CPS. That's how desperate they are. The spirits that they work with are that desperate. So what they'll do, and this has affected many, many people, is they will make a phone call to somebody and their spirits will attach to that person. And then if that person is able to have access to you, then they can work through that person. So we know everything that they do and all of their tactics. And unfortunately, when you have some, but you can do it, it's not that big of a deal, especially when you know what you're doing, you can do it easily. They will contact people that have a connection with you somehow and try to send those spirits. So what I've found throughout the years is that I end up clearing a lot of people, but this is what makes you who you are because you do it effortlessly. So like for example, the desperation to form the cord coming by your house, okay, that's one way of trying to form a cord. Calling last night, and I've got to bring this up as an example because y'all have got to see what they're doing because they're trying to fool you, seriously. They called the emergency line and claimed that we were making a lot of noise over here. I've always had a quiet household. This nice man that I see every single day, he came by here. He said, is any noise over here? And I'm like, no, you're probably just doing a safety check to make sure that we're safe. We're always constantly surrounded by people that love us. In fact, I'll tell you guys another story in a minute about the police, but my spirits are always present. So that man that came by here is protected and he was cleared instantly with no side effects, no nothing. The person's desperate spirits that even thought to call and claim that we were making a bunch of noise to try to get us in trouble or try to get us thrown out. They probably more than likely sense some energy and spirits. They automatically do it. It's just automatic because and my spirits, you come anywhere near me and my spirits are going to clear people of that. And then plus I had already done a ritual. I had already done a ritual, and my potion clients will see that ritual because I don't reveal everything. But basically, anybody that comes to my door is going to for sure be cleared of that. And it's sad because people like this, they don't care who they hurt, they don't care who they affect. That nice man, he is a nice guy, and they're just constantly bothering and upsetting everybody with their codependency, and this is what gets them in a lot of trouble because spirit sees all of that. Okay, so what my spirits will do And even with defects, okay, they will put their spirits there. They will use another person as a host to feed. They will try to make you the host to feed through you. So everything, all of my potions, especially that core cutting potion, includes everything that you need to counteract that, to destroy that, to obliterate everything that they do. And these people have thought long and hard about it. To me, it's ridiculous anyway, because I believe that they made things harder on themselves. It was not necessary, especially if they are walking this planet. They can take the higher road, but they choose not to. And many of you guys are being pursued by hundreds. Some of y'all are being fed off of through hundreds of people, thousands of spirits feeding off of you at the same time. These are parasitic energies, okay? So, when they get desperate, that's why they call, that's why they SWAT. Let's talk about that. A few years, was it a few years ago? I think it was last year in 2023. One of the parasites fouled, actually drove by my house and dialed 911. Told the Gwinnett County Police that somebody had us holding us hostage in a closet. So you can imagine what a police officer who was there to protect and serve. I respect our police. I have a very good relationship with the police. Okay? You can imagine the urgency that that would create. And that's unfair. That's why swatting is being prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. So I had just drifted off to sleep. I was already dealing with my nocturnal hours, and I had just drifted off to sleep. And then the next thing I knew, I was hearing a bamming at the door, and lights were being shined through the door. And so I go down there, and the sheriff, he's like, "Are y'all okay?" And I'm like, "Yes, we are." I explained to him quickly the situation. My spirits are already present, letting him know that, and clearing them of that, which is probably counterproductive, because I believe that my spirits clear them a little bit too much, because I believe that those officers probably would have went ahead and went after whoever it was that made that call. But it's not fair to them. It's not. When you're creating that type of false emergency with an intention to do spiritual work, this this thing that they call art, of what they do, should not be called art. It should be banished from the spiritual community, period. So, they were really nice, and they were like, okay, they were like, "I'm glad that y'all are okay. Are you sure you're okay?" Because they called and said, and then we went on, you know what I'm saying? But they do things like that because they're trying to form a court. For someone like me, if you call somebody to my house, that energy is going to be cleared from that person, unless it's somebody directly from one of their weak groups that they try to call covens. But my spirits, as you can see, it quickly drives them away. Yes, they call it art, Unica. They think that they are doing something. It's so perplexing. um I have vampires in my bloodline, and I can assure you that it does not work that way. It doesn't. Their vampires are not desperate, right? So it's not really vampirism. Vampirism is not about feeding off of somebody anyway. It's so much more than that. It's It's seduction, it's sex magic, it's actually healing, like what they do is try to feed and feed and feed out of desperation, because I don't know if these people feel like they're going to die if they don't do it. They act like their life depends on it. The guy that I dealt with, I wouldn't say that we were dating. He told me when he first found out that I was planning to go back home, he just basically broke down and said, "I'm gonna die if you leave." But I think that it's a mind trick that they have. It's and they will try to do it through other people. They're constantly stalking. They're constantly bothering people's neighbors. They're constantly trying to it just and it's such a waste of resources and time, because they're still going to get the same result, especially if you have a will and intention to protect your energy. So cord cutting might be necessary on a daily basis to these people, unfortunately. This is the reason why spirits wanted a cord cutting potion that is complete with everything that you need. Especially if you're one of those people to where your energy reserves have been siphoned so much that you can barely talk. So you can put a few drops of that potion in your bath or either in your simmer pot and just, you know, kind of just sit with it. And that potion is available along with many others. So I did upload a video for you guys, because they are feeding off of good people. They are feeding off of people. And we're not going to say that, we're going to separate people that deserve it or don't deserve it. We're not going to say that, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of you guys, y'all have a life, y'all have a family, y'all have dreams and aspirations. And then you got this person that is feeding because for some reason, and we have not had time to fully research it. Okay, eventually we will be able to come to a better level of understanding to where we can reach the hub of what their problem is. And please believe that people, if you're being stalked in social media, there could possibly be a person that calls themselves spiritual that is getting those people to do that. And they feel like they're vampiring off of a person, feeding off of the person. Okay. And they're actually not. Actually, it's not benefiting them at all, especially if you decide and set an intention for your energy to poison them. You can do that very easily. In fact, the core cutting potion includes elements of that, and you should not feel sorry for them. Love yourself. And it's especially during the computer age and the social media age, I think is when it got worse, because these people already were compromised. And then in the age of computers and instead of them going out and maybe recharging and refueling in the sun provides a lot of energy. Sunbathing, moon bathing is so good. It connects you to the universe. These people are in their houses stuck on the computer. And if they do go outside, it's only for a few minutes and it's not a lot, it's not enough time to absorb. And then even if they do go out there, they're not actually connected, because the sun is connected to the third eye. So they want so bad to connect or to develop their personal powers, but they've either been misled, misguided. And once you start operating that way, it's very difficult to break that code. In fact, it's going to be very difficult if any of them ever actually heals and stops operating that way. It's going to be very difficult to them to where they're going to literally get sick Oh, here. Okay. Okay. So sorry about that. I had to answer a text message. Um, and it just it's been something that is just so perplexing to the spiritual community. And if you ask me, a lot of them, and this is the darker area of that, but a lot of them have essentially um kind of destroyed the way witchcraft looks. Because if you know anything about witchcraft, you don't have to feed off of other people. If you know the basics of the craft, the elements, the earth, everything above and below, that would never be necessary to even do that. But and if you're dealing with it, they will try to act like, oh, oh my god, we're gonna destroy you. You can rest assured that they are a lie. And if you guys need me, I got everything that y'all need, especially those of you that are reclaiming your destiny. Now let's talk about destiny thieving. That is the dumbest thing ever, as far as the way that we see destiny. But when somebody creates something and creates an intention, and then especially if they do divination and they ask, what is this person's destiny? They may just ask spirit guides, and they will say, oh, I see my future as being bleak. Yes, they do. And I want to take this person's destiny. They don't have an understanding that you can change an outcome of anything. So these are people with very limited beliefs, and they are very, very, very dangerous to other people. My spirits, while we have been here, and it's so amazing and beautiful and wonderful, and I'm so appreciative to my spirits, they have created a system with potions, actually. And I think that is very interesting that they did it that way. We're trying to keep preservatives out of our potions, or either I'm going to think of a non-toxic preservative um, to put in them that you guys can use to meditate. But once you start using these potions, you probably will either never need to use them again once you've completed it, once you've used them for whatever purpose they are, or it may be years before you need that same potion again. Uh, Here at Divine Services Apothecary, we reserve everything. We take notes. So all of the recipes are available to the potions. You know exactly what is in them, and you know what it's for. So they're supercharged with everything that you need all the way. Okay. And so when it comes to cord cutting, it is actually a lot more complicated than what people think, especially if you have energies of codependency that you're dealing with, narcissism. Okay. If you have people that, and these people will harass you, they will stalk you all over the place, and then they'll say, oh, I'm not doing that to you, you're doing that to you. Or, oh, I well, you shouldn't be so amazing, basically is what they're saying, which is bull crap. These people are lazy. They don't want to, because anybody that has studied the occult, and when I say studied, I don't necessarily mean books, but books can be very valuable. Okay. But I mean, as far as studying alongside spirit and them revealing things to you and them teaching things to you, or either them revealing things that you know, that have been oppressed, and you know how it is. And you know that that is a very powerful inner understanding. And these people are clueless, and they're not adorably clueless either, like in the movie Clueless. They are clueless, they are dangerous, they are causing sickness to people. Because here's another thing, okay? And this is a very sensitive topic, one that I don't like to discuss publicly because it's not necessarily politically correct, okay? But people that have either mental or physical ailments, they enjoy latching on and feeding and parasiting off of people, not just healers, but just people, period. And that's something that, first of all, for the sake of nurses and doctors, there needs to be more information about that. Because even though I am a spiritual healer, okay, I still respect the medical field, even though I don't really like big pharma. But hey, every now and then I still take I haven't taken Benadryl in years. It's been a while because I got off of that because when I first came to Georgia, I didn't realize how my heart chakra was being compromised, because allergies come from the heart chakra. But I'll take some Robitussin in case I'm a little congested, and I will take some ibuprofen if I'm in pain. Okay. And I usually only need like the smallest dose of something though, because I'm very sensitive. So, but you know, people that are sick, and they don't want to connect to anything that even helps manage whatever it is that they've been diagnosed with, they have a tendency to do that too. And there are some people out there, this is something that's never talked about, people that are sick and trying to heal. There's some underground magic that exists to where you can take the health of another. Now, does this actually work? No, it doesn't. It does not trump actual real healing. I'm talking about authentic healing, to where, let's say you break a toe and you have to heal the bone. Okay. A codependent person that you need to heal from, if they stub their toe or break their toe, instead of them healing the toe, they're so disconnected from their body naturally healing that they're going to go, oh, I need for this other person to feel this pain, and I need their healing energy. So then the next thing you know, your toe hurts out of nowhere because this person is targeting you. Or either the circumstances in your life may be to where you may break your toe too. This is actually happening. And I think that most of us witches do know healing practices. I think that we're all born with basic knowledge of that. I really do. I think that some of us are, um, you got to think about, what's the name of that movie? It's called Kill Bill. And do you remember when Uma Thurman was sitting in the back of the truck, and her legs and feet had went to atrophy because she was in a coma for a long time, and she had forgotten that she couldn't even walk. So she had to drag herself to the car to safety, and she sat in the back of that truck and she willed her toe to move. See, that is something that is a gift that she was able to do. So, and but it's, I heal people all the time. I'm not saying that people that need healing are codependent or bad people. That's what I'm here for. But a person that chooses to be sick in every way. A person that chooses to be negative, a person that chooses to do things that are the opposite of what is going to bring them even 80% health, to be able to, to think that they have the audacity to say, hey, I don't feel good and I need to somehow siphon the energy out of another person, steal their energy, almost like taking one of those cords and putting it in somebody's gas tank to steal their gas. It's the same thing. And for them to do that is very disgusting. And they're angry and mad. They will get, especially if you are a healer. And we need our healers. And then these are people that are, some of them are the scourge of society. I'm sorry. Some of them are bad people, very bad people who are, I'm sorry, just, mm-mm. I'm not saying that a person that does bad things can't change their ways, because people can change for the better. But there are some people that just want to be bad. They just want to be, and that is not native to witchcraft. It's not, and that's, I feel like it is a part of it, because I think that witches, when because personally, I don't even think it's just been the witches, but there's been people for so long that have had people that have tried to take away from them. So you do have to go to that dark place and say, you know what, I'm not going to let you take from me. I'm not going to let you take away from me. I'm not going to do that. So, and so there's nothing wrong with that aspect of it. And then there may even be some witches that just, they're just like, screw it, I'm taking from everybody. But you can put up your boundaries and say, not me, because a lot of you guys, for example, for me, you know um especially when you're growing a family, and these people will try to stomp out your family. They don't want. And if you have children, your children and grandchildren are an inconvenience to them. Those children are taking up all my energy. Huh? Yeah, screw your kids. If you have a family, screw them. Just get rid of them so I can sit and feed off of you like a blue shell crab. You got to stand up and fight, because no mother or father wants to get, well, you would think so. As a mother, I can honestly say that I would never allow somebody to stomp out my family. And then to say, oh well, you're a single mother anyway, or you're a family of divorce, and or I don't want to hear that. So they try to work the political discrimination in there, like you're supposed to go. And they have done people like that before. They've brought down people's self-esteem like that before, to where they just succumb to them, they just surrender to them. And not over here at Jamila's house at Divine Services Apothecary. We're not going to do that. And please believe that it's not just being done by people of middle class. I've seen landlords feed off of their tenants to a great capacity. Not every landlord, not every landlord, but I have seen landlords do that. I've experienced it. And I think that it was something that my mother was really aware of, and that's why she never liked renting houses. You know, and she would always warn me about that, and I found out, because especially when They feel this sense of power over a person. And I'm not saying this about every landlord. Like, there are some management companies out there. I used to work for some of them. They would never do anything like that. But there are a few out there. It is. It's a few of them out there. And I've found myself having to battle these multimillionaires who think that just because they are multimillionaires that they have the right to feed and that they have more power. No, you don't. Just because you are somebody that is rich and you own a property does not mean that you can do that to another human being. Okay, so a lot of you guys, before you rent places or whatever, um, and get into these lease agreements, you need to really check out your landlord and get a reading done on them. Because every landlord ain't like that. If I were a landlord, I was in real estate for 10 years. By the way. If I were a landlord, I would never do my tenants like that because, first of all, that's going to fail your business anyway. People that do things like that, they are headed for self-destruction. It doesn't work that way. They always destruct. They always do. Their businesses fold. You know, that's not to say every business that folds is vampiring off of people, but when you operate that way, especially when it comes to real estate and land and houses, there are spirits that govern over that, even goetic spirits that govern over homes and houses, and they don't agree with that. They will protect people from that. Okay. I was just speaking with a spirit an hour ago. This spirit wants to usher mankind towards betterment and greatness. So, everything that we read about with the left hand path and all that is not evil and bad. It's just that people that are like that, they don't want to suffer the inconvenience of the downfall. Their downfall has to come eventually, and they're never going to save up enough money to get out. They have to suffer that loss of what they took from people. And that's what they don't want. They don't want to experience the fall, but they're going to have to eventually. The more and the more that they fight it, the worse it's going to be. If you built yourself up with somebody else's energy that is not yours, you have to give that back. And that means that whatever it is that you obtained during that time, you're going to have to lose it. Start over from fresh. They don't want to do that. And then, see, that's when fires start happening. Spirit will burn everything that they have because the stealing is a no-no. First of all, I listen, stealing from people, I don't know what it is about stealing. Pretty much across the board, it's frowned upon. Maybe it's because it's really not necessary. And these people can't change that. Okay. They say the planet Mercury is like the planet of thievery and things of that nature. But Mercury, for me, they have always helped me retrieve what was stolen from me. Because, honestly, and a lot of you women out there are like that. You're just trying to obtain from this abundant world for your family. It's enough to go around to all of us. And that people like that don't get it. They don't get it. They have very limited beliefs, you know what I'm saying? And it just is what it is. And you guys are really, you're not trying to take all, you're just trying to obtain what is according to your destiny that was created by your vision, no matter what that is, right? And it's nothing wrong with that. And it doesn't matter if you're white, if you're black, if you're short, if you're tall, you have every right to do that. Who is anybody else to tell you that you can't? But it is an obstacle when you're dealing with people that you have to cut cords from. That's just like bad family members that, you may want to go and have this big beautiful estate by a lake or even by a river, just an estate for your family. And you may want to have that, and you may have bad family members that, they're like, we don't do that. But that I didn't do that, so you can't do that. So that's another thing. That's another thing that you may have to cut the cord from, because family members, cousins, aunts, uncles, we have loved them at some point, but when they become an obstacle, it's kind of like, well, what the I didn't do that. So, and well, I didn't accomplish anything. And now I'm old and sick and I'm going to try to stop you. Like, are you kidding? Cord cutting, cord cutting. Let me cut the cords and clear you away from me. It is not, it does not make you a selfish person to want something in life. It does not make you a selfish person if you want to have bathrooms, or seven bathrooms with 7 designer clawfoot tubs. It does not. That does not make you a selfish person. That makes you a creative person. That makes you, and you know what? People that do that, because for me, it's all about the lifestyle, the health, the inspiration, the beauty of it all, the art. When it comes to houses, I'm I'm not using my house as a weapon against people. What is that? No. It's all about inspiration and then having a warm place for my friends and my family to visit. It's not about going out on social media and saying, I got a house and you don't have a house. So I said that's what I was trying to think of earlier. People trying to use their houses as a weapon against people. Oh, there's no love in that house. Trust me, nobody's jealous. Because when I build a home, it's going to be nothing but love in that house. It's going to be built with love and my creativity and my vision. Because trust me, I have a vision of me going to sleep underneath a skylight where whenever it rains or snows, I can see the rain and the snow fall down upon me when I'm laying in bed. And it is nothing wrong with wanting that kind of accomplishment. And people will try to tell you, oh, well, you can't do that because you're a single mother. What? Oh, you can't do that because you're this or you're that. Or just because if you do something like that, I'm going to be jealous. So it ain't just about energy harvesting, it's about people that are haters, and they will send negative energy. Okay. Then they'll try to control you. They'll wake up every day and try to curse you so that you can't get the things that you want and try to block you. So a part of the sample pack of the potions that I'm going to be sending out, and I do believe I put it on the website, you will get a curse breaker return to sender potion. Okay. And it does have the properties of the foot track removal breaker too. Okay, people foot track magic, which is a type of controlling and domination magic so that they can control your movement and where you go and how far you go. It will also include the cord cutting potion, of course, the anti scapegoating potion, which also clears out any negativity. It'll include a information sheet with it, and it'll and because it'll all be documented in there, so you'll be able to read what it does. Okay. So I'm not going to really discuss that. You'll see it whenever you see the information that I email you about it. Okay, and then the enemy bind potion, and then we also have a baneful protection potion. Okay, um, door opener, okay, to open doors, unblocker potion, okay. And if you guys have special interests like love, money, it just depends on what you need. So you guys can talk to me about what your needs are, and I'll send you your sample. It'll be probably like 5 milliliters, I think I'm going to use, and that'll be plenty, okay, for you to get started. Also, I do have the elemental potions, earth, air, fire, water. Um, and then I have the reclaim. It's a reclaim, but it's so much deeper. It's a youth and beautifying potion. It's I can't even really discuss it. Okay. Then of course I do have a few money potions. Okay. Uh I have what I call my Jupiter return or reclaim potion. I have the Venus reclaim potion, and I'm going to do a Saturn one too. Okay. That's going to come about in the next few weeks or next week or so. Okay. So, it makes it a lot easier, and the potions can be used for many, many different things. Um, I have always been into making potions. In fact, when I do move into my home, my whole apothecary, I'm going to be making fresh essential oils and everything. Like, I'm totally into that kind of stuff. Um, and it's just what I'm into, you know what I'm saying? And I'm good at what I do. Okay. And so you guys will get that video. And you know what? The thing of it is that you have to have a level head. Like for me, I was dealing with my own struggles. Oh, and then also the anti-poverty potion. There's an anti-poverty potion that I have that banishes poverty. There's the dance of the sugar plum fairy potion, which is going to cancel out interdimensional, unknown, inexplicable, weird energies. And then I have the bitch be gone potion, and I have an unidentified potion over there that I can't even remember what the heck it is. I can't even remember what it is, but um, and so the potion has the energy and the essence of all of the herbs of many, some even 20 or 30 herbs at the same time. So, in that way, because, it's a potion is going to be different from burning an herb. So potions are very powerful, and they can be utilized to create very fast change very quickly. So you guys that are potion clients that have either purchased potions or either my class, because I do teach a potion making class, you guys will get the link to that private video. Okay. Especially if y'all need to core cut. I can tell when y'all need to core cut. Okay, I can tell when y'all need to core cut. I can just feel it. I can feel that pull of somebody just pulling and pulling and pulling on you. In, which is probably a source of jealousy for some people. I don't know why, because I've been doing this for years, but everything that I do seems to be a problem, and I don't get it, but whatever. Okay. I like the fact that a little goes a long way, is what I like about the potions. You know what I'm saying? And you can keep them in the refrigerator if you want, or either like a small refrigerator if you have one, like, um, but you can keep them fridged to make them last a lot longer. I don't really want to compromise them too much, the chemical structure of them. But isopropyl alcohol or either denatured alcohol is good as a preservative that will last for a while. The only thing is that if you guys are doing meditation, the alcohol may be good or bad for the experience, because you don't want to be inhaling alcohol, could possibly have a drying effect or something. So But like I said, you may only need to work with these potions for possibly up to 90 days. And, and then also if they're in mason jars, they will be preserved, because I do have the potion bottles, because, I like the aesthetic look of that. But we'll figure that out. You know what I'm saying? As long as you have the potion, you can start using it. You can put a couple of drops in your bath. You can, I mean, it's so many ways to use it. So, though, the potion videos are not going to be released to the public, they are going to be private for you guys, so that you can look at them privately and you can actually learn how to do your at home meditation is going to be needed. Because if you have an ex, or if you have some confused person, because I've had this happen. I've had people that I am nothing like. I am nothing like them. And I'll tell me if you guys have had this happen, to where it's no resemblance, not look wise, not the attitude, not the thought process, but that person came up to me and said, "You're trying to be me." No, actually, I'm not trying anything. I'm just being Jamila. It's very bizarre. So if you have something like that going on, and it's very weird and it can feel weird, because what's happening is that that person is now trying to separate you from yourself and trying to pull on you. If you guys have ever seen that movie Hocus Pocus, where the three sister witches, and they took that little girl and they basically was just like, and pulling on her. It's a fun movie. I suppose if you're a witch, you could do that to somebody if you set your intention to do it. I can tell you that it's not in the nature of every witch. Let's put it like that. Okay. It's not, this is a Hollywood, again, a Hollywood depicted version of a witch. And there's a lot of witches that don't like that movie. They're very insulted by it. And a lot of witches cannot stand the way we are portrayed in Hollywood, because witches are, for the most part, connected to the earth. We're connected to the elements. Why would we need to feed off of the soul of a child? It's very bizarre. Anyway, Hollywood and movies has nothing to do with what real witchery is. And I think that that's why a lot of us are, we kind of end up in some kind of spiritual war. And it's terrible. It is. And so I do have the Working Witch's Companion, and you can actually use the Working Witch's Companion or the Working Witch's Best Friend. It's a familiar potion. It's a familiar, but it's a potion. Okay, it's many, many, many familiars for the witch to help her. Not just if you're getting paid to do work for people, but just also in everyday life. So you guys can contact me and let me know. And yes, I am trusted. Nobody. I think that what's happening a lot, and I'm going to say this, is that a lot of these people that are not trustworthy, they try to come in and make people that are trustworthy look like we're not trustworthy. And again, that's their problem and not ours. Okay, whatever it is that you think you doing to me, I've already done to you. Period. So we don't have to worry about that. Okay. Um Anywho, that's the whole point of cord cutting. And people that claim that they don't want to cord, they're lying. Why are you still talking about me? Why are you obviously doing that then? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing weird things? Why do you seem to consistently try to connect to me, but I'm trying to get away from you? That is the difference. And that's how you can tell the difference. And they'll try to confuse people. Well, I mean, they'll try to confuse the community. It's so weird. So the core cutting potion also includes elements of truth in it as well, because they'll convince the community that you want it or you're in on it. Why would I be in on somebody abusing me and talking about me and unpleasant things, ugly things? I don't like those things. I saw that, yep. I was thinking about that movie too when I was talking about it. Mm-hmm. Yep, I was thinking about that. But anyway, so you can protect yourself. And then also my we call it baneful protection, but this is protection from death, because yes, these people, if they can't feed, if they can't control you, then they will think about, maybe I should just end this person's life. And they won't be able to do that either, because this potion that I got, I'll show it. I'm gonna show it to you by y'all by video. I'll make a quick video. I just finished it yesterday. It's a very, very baneful, dark, satanic protection from death and sickness and destruction. And so I have that potion as well. It's not gonna, and all of my potions are of healing quality. They're all infused with even the baneful potions. And you'll see that how I program them in the information sheet that I send you. Even though you are destroying this person that is a threat to you, why should you have to have negative karma because of that? Why should you have to have it backfire? You have every right. You have a divine right. You have a spiritual right. You have a human right to defend yourself. You don't lay down and die for nobody. You don't let nobody have power over you like that. And most of y'all are good people that just, you know, you're just trying to live and prosper in life. So, these potions are going to be the next big thing. Is going to be something that I'm going to make all the time. I thoroughly enjoy making potions. Um, I have one client. She comes and she sees me in person, and she was able to be present while I was making her potion. And I ain't heard from her since. She probably over there chilling, you know. And so I just I made her just a small batch of a potion. And that it just brings in so much good energy, because that's what you want. Okay. You don't want, listen, power is not necessarily negativity. If you're living your life and you're doing the things that you enjoy and you're not harming or hurting anybody, and somebody comes in with a baneful intent against you, then they can't say, oh, well, they've tried to make us feel bad for defending ourselves against groups of people that are all trying to suck the life force out of you and turn you into them or something that they hate. Especially if they have like a problem or an issue, a daddy issue or a mommy issue, they'll try to turn you into their mommy. No, I'm not your mother. I'm not anything like your mother. Excuse me. And then they'll try to do spell work to turn you into that, because it's healing for me. I feel like you are that. I'm going to turn you into that person, and I'm going to try to destroy you. It's a lot of people out there. Y'all know that in the past decade, witchery became more popular in the last decade. Okay, just on a global scale. But there are some people that they didn't quite connect to it correctly. Right. I mean, if you're defending yourself against a predator, if they want to try to make you feel bad, like, oh, you know what, I'm so sorry. Go ahead and kill me. Go ahead. And they're just like, yeah, no, hon. No, nobody's stupid over here. Okay. We just, no, we're not going to fall for that. Okay. The predator is trying to convince you that, to allow them to prey upon you. Okay. Now there are other potions that I plan on making within the next couple of weeks. Um, but these are some of the ones that we needed to get done now. But things for like beauty aesthetics, I already do have the beauty fountain of youth, reclaim all of that, reverse aging. But I am going to make specialized potions for things like cellulite, crepe skin, loose skin, even to heal the muscles. Because if you are being fed on somebody by somebody or several people, it will cause the muscles to go into atrophy. And it will be very difficult for you to get your health back up, especially when you're trying to work out. I want to personally say about myself, I started working out again, probably like maybe a month ago, and it was a struggle. And I realized that there were several curses that I had to reverse. Sometimes to get in shape and get your health back, you have to reverse a curse, because that's a part of the process. I never would have thought that I would have ran into people that hated me so much that they just wanted me to just, it was awful. And then added to what I was already dealing with that I'm not going to really discuss, things that I was dealing with within my family. Like, it was just, I'm so lucky and I feel so blessed to, not have been totally destroyed. You know what I mean? So there is going to be like a fitness and health potion. And yeah, it's a thing. You can take it, um you can add a little bit. You know what I like to do with anything for the body? I like to have the potion, and you take some oil. You put the oil in your hand, and the potion is water based. You rub that together. You got oil and water, but that oil and water, it's going to create moisture and it's going to seep down into the skin. Okay, with that potion. So that little, when you add, as far as like what you're using it for. Now oil and water can cause separation, which is good for alchemy when it comes to certain workings that you may be doing as well. But when it comes to skin and body, if you take some oil, like some olive oil or either some grapeseed oil, and just put a little bit in the palm of the hand, or either put a little bit in a vessel, put a few drops of that potion on top of that oil, take it, rub it together. It's going to create that moisture and that healing for whatever that is. So that'll be coming in the next couple of weeks, because a lot of you guys, and you know what, with the prevalence of misogyny being magnified so much, a lot of these men wanted to destroy your beauty, destroy your looks, because they hate you. They hate you, and you can get that back. And I can't wait to do my body shot for y'all. It's coming. It's coming. And I've been taking before and after pictures too. You know what I'm saying? So this is not a product, it's a beauty product. Yeah, a lot of us witches have beauty products that we sell, But this is a magical potion. You mix that potion that we're going to make with that oil. We haven't made it yet, but we will in the next few weeks. It'll be released more than likely by Thanksgiving or before. You put that oil, a little quarter size amount of that oil for each area. Drop a couple of drops of that potion. You take that friction in your hand, rub it together. You're gonna have that wet aspects and that oil, and you just rub it on that area, and it's all good. Okay, whatever it is, whether or not it's your face, whether or not it's your body, but especially for cellulite and crepe skin, and then even certain things like for example, if you want to get in shape faster, now, am I telling you not to work out? Yeah, you need to work out, but it will make your workouts more effective and even encourage you to work out too. It'll encourage your physical fitness and for you to get your health back and your beauty so that you can feel good about yourself as a person. So that because I had somebody talking to me like just because I was 40, that meant that everything had to fall down. And that's not true. Like, that's a misogynist. That's somebody that hates you, and never listen to a person like that. I was looking at this one video of this lady, and she's very popular. I can't remember the name, but I was looking at the video, and she's like above the age of 50, and she was saying that she was experiencing some cruelty or something at the gym, where they were saying that if you're above the age of 50, you can't get your muscles in shape. That's a total lie. That's not true. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Okay. No matter how old you are, you can get yourself in shape. And so, sometimes I feel like, you know, there's this competition with like the medical industry, like plastic surgery or something like that. And it's not, because people are always going to go and get plastic surgery. But those of you that want to improve it, and you can, because it's just a little bit of cellulite. I have a little bit of cellulite on my thighs. I don't need to go under the knife to fix that. I would never go and get a butt implant, because a butt implant for what? I just need to get my butt in shape. Because there's a, I kind of developed shelf booty to where the top of my booty needed to be in shape. And there are exercises, that you can do, a good workout that you can do that will tighten that up so that your butt will be round again. And and I don't understand the people that act like once it's messed up, it can't be fixed, and it can be. And that's just like when a woman has a baby. I've given birth, vaginal birth, 4 times. Why is it this thing to where they're trying to make it seem like women that give vaginal birth, their vagina turns into this big cave? I never had that problem. In fact, I think that most women that have given birth vaginally are going to disagree with that. They're going to say, no, actually, it tightened up even more. Now, with my first son, I was telling my daughters the other day, I was, well, I've told them this story before. He ripped me from the rooter to the tutor. They spent over an hour sewing me back up after I had my firstborn, because he was so big. And but that didn't I think it's a part of misogyny, and I'm disgusted by it. And yeah. Mhm. Yeah, I would never. And my ancestors and spirits, they don't allow. They like, you're not gonna. In fact, it's even a thing in my family to where we're not allowed to let people cut us open and stuff. Yeah, no. In fact, you could tell even at the hospital when I gave birth to my firstborn, I was thinking that they were going to give me an episiotomy. They just let me tear naturally, but it was just like slice, and it was like, wow. literally an hour sewing me back up. So, and it just, mm, I'm going to create a facial potion called Botox in a bottle. Okay. You guys know you can do facial exercises to tighten up the face, but I'm going to make a potion for that. So, and these are things that people want. They don't want to always go and put poison inside of their face and get Botox and things of that nature. If you want to do that, that's fine. Um, I watch this channel called Josh and Mama, and I just love that, especially the mama. But it's such a cool channel. And she went and got lip fillers. I'm not sitting up here going, ooh, I don't, I'm not gonna hate her because of that. There are some people that they have their viewpoints, but when they see somebody do something different, it didn't make me love her any less. So I respect people's rights and their decisions to do what they want to do with their own bodies. But it's just that, for me, this is what I choose. And if somebody is similar and they want a natural witchy beauty treatment, you're able to get it. Okay. So, anyway, I think women of all ages are beautiful, though. I think that aging is not necessarily a bad thing. If you want your crow's feet and your wrinkles, I love you anyway. You're still beautiful. But it's there in case you want it. And then also I'm going to do a fertility potion too. So all of that is going to come up, and the fertility potion is going to be advanced because there are people that are trying to curse your fertility, and you're not fertile just for the purposes of having a baby. Your fertility is also about your creativity. So, and that's connected to your swadasana. Okay. So, we're going to get that going too. And then also your natural health. That's how women end up getting fibroids and stuff. And, it's not medical advice. There's videos on here that have Reiki to reduce the size of fibroid tumors. How is what us witches do any different? And it is because we were the original doctors. And maybe there is a push to cancel us out, which is sad because you're denying people of their choices, and that's not right. And I don't think that the medical industry has to fear us at all. I really don't. So, I just think that it's terrible for people to do that. That's just like my spirits. They want me to erect the healing spa. When my spirits had me announce that, it created so many enemies because it made bells go off in people. And people were like, oh, well, if she has a healing spa, then, that's going to be like people are going to be going there to heal. And it's like a clinic or whatever. And, it, you know, stop. Because you know what? Shortly before I got pregnant with my youngest son, I actually have had acupuncture before when I lived in Lawrence, Kansas. And acupuncture is amazing. Wow. Are they trying to deny us the right? And it's deeply disturbing. It is it It's like some of these people are lobbyists for, okay, I understand that the medical field is important, but they can't take over people's lives. And I respect doctors. There's channels of doctors on here that empower people, and I am fully in support of those doctors that empower people, that tell people how they can take care of their own health and certain things that they can do. And I totally support naturopath and homeopathic doctors. But then again, The surgeons, the people that prescribe the medications, I respect them too. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all about what people's choices are, but you don't have the right to deny people of their choices. That's just like I made a choice when it comes to blood pressure medicine. I'll never take it. Even if my blood pressure is a little elevated, I'm not going to do it. Am I going to die of a stroke or a heart attack? No, I don't think so. I would hope not. I don't believe so. I don't see that. I would never put that in my vision. Is it going to mess up my kidneys? No, my kidneys are healthy. Some of us can't take blood pressure medicine. I can't take it. It made me almost go blind. I can't take blood pressure medicine. Am I supposed to be quiet about that? Am I stepping on someone's toes here? And am I supposed to walk in fear every single day? You know how I feel? Eliminate stress. And my kids are not stressful. Even when they have their little days where they're having a bad days, to me, it's not stressful. But people that are purposely trying to induce stress in my life, like that, you can feel a person's intention, you know? Like when my with my new boo, there are times when he'll talk to me about religion, but I can feel that his intention is not to hurt me. So that doesn't stress me out. In fact, it makes me feel good. But when somebody has an intention, I want to stress you out. I want to poison you. I want to poison your mind. I want to poison your body. I want to poison your spirit. And I want to stress you out and cause damage to your body. Your intuition is going to tell you that. And you eliminate that person from your life and cut cords from them, because everything that they're trying to feed your soul is for destruction and death and sickness. And they're doing it on purpose. They want to shorten your lifespan. And I'm not talking about a government conspiracy or the government. No, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about people. I'm talking about people. Yeah, I personally like some of the medications they prescribe from the doctor. I think that it's all about a person's journey. I know that nurse practitioner, I will never forget her. I feel like, because I feel like a lot of my spirits work in the medical industry. Like, I feel like a lot of my angels come to me. Like, anytime I go to a hospital or a clinic or something, I feel them there. And that and she's a nurse practitioner. A nurse practitioner is equivalent to a doctor. They can prescribe medications and everything. And that lady, she sat there, she said, Jamila, she said, you do not need blood pressure medicine. Why are you so? She couldn't really sit and, because she wasn't a therapist, but I was like, but my auntie died. And I was like, and I'm scared. And she was like, you're fine. Took that, finally talked them into giving me blood pressure medicine, almost went blind. Thank the goddess that I didn't go blind. Now that was over 10 years ago, but even if I found out that my blood pressure was sky high, I would choose not to manage it with medications necessarily. So, and my blood pressure be fine as long as I keep certain people that raise your blood pressure, all that arguing and fighting and adrenaline is going to raise your blood pressure. And they need adrenaline. The parasites need for your adrenaline to be up, which is going to raise your blood pressure and your cortisol levels for them to feed off of you. And they don't give a damn about your life. They will keep feeding until you die. And it's the truth. And it's sad. And they have been at war with me, a war that they are going to always lose. Well, I'm not gonna ever get rid of my spirits, and I I don't care. Okay, and trying to turn me against my spirits while they do the most toxic things, like I'm stupid or something. Like, you're going to convince me of that, and then we'll try to get you codependent, especially those types of men. I dealt with one like that, to where he would try to control my cortisol levels and my adrenaline. He wanted control and power over how I felt, and I've already dealt with that. I've already dealt with him on that. For real. There's a spell for that, honey. You ain't messing with me. Okay. So we've already, there's spell binding. We've already destroyed that. But it would be, thinking back about last year, whenever I felt stressed out, I felt like I needed this person, and then I could feel myself relax. And it's nothing wrong with feeling better when you're around your partner. But if a partner or a sexual partner is that controlling and diabolical, to where they want to be able to take you up and down, yeah, you don't want that. Nobody should want that, and especially when the person does it purposely. They're very evil, and you go from, literally with this person, it would go from "I do love you, you are special to me" to "I hate you, die." There's something wrong with a person that does that. Because I love a man right now, and you know I couldn't imagine ever wanting something to happen to him just because I was angry at him, or upset or disappointed in him for some reason. Like, that's kind of a bit extreme. So, anywho, I'm kind of getting off the subject, but needless to say, that is the subject. You got to cut the cord from somebody like that, especially if they have formed an obsession with you, and somebody done taught that person how to meditate, or they have like a natural ability to meditate or astral travel, and the core cutting potion does include aspects that prevent that person from astral traveling to you. So it's all included. Okay. So y'all can, I'm going to go. Um, y'all can check out the video that I did. It's just a preview. It's not even a preview. I already have the video ready to upload. I feel great right now because, believe it or not, um, being an empath, it's very easy for you to absorb somebody else's pain and their sicknesses. So I was actually having gallbladder pain, coincidentally, and you could tell that somebody was trying to connect. Needless to say, I lit up that cord cutting potion, and my body healed within that time that I was asleep. So I'm just telling y'all what I know about folks and the way that they are. I know personally, if I had some kind of ailment, I wouldn't want someone else to suffer with me. The way I am, my personality, because I am the embodiment of the hermit, and that power grid and that knowledge and wisdom, to where I would go off to myself and heal myself, and I would keep that to myself and just heal it. I would never project it to someone else or want somebody to suffer. So that's just my personality. It's who it makes me who I am. I don't think I would actually be able to heal people if I were any different. And I can tell y'all one thing: my spirits ain't gonna never do me dirty. I trust them. I trust them more than a lot of these human beings walking around here. So you can't turn me against my deities and my spirits. I don't think so. I know so. But when I get myself, to the lake, that's gonna be amazing. I can't wait for that, guys. Like, that's gonna be so important. especially for, the services that I'm going to be providing you guys from a distance, of course. And then also my coven members, they will know where I'm at, but they're not they're not a part of their group. They would never reveal my location. You know what I'm saying? So, we've been talking about these untrustworthy people, but at the end of the day, I still have people that needless to say, the parasitic people, they will not be invited to the lake. They won't. So, anywho, happy times coming up. Um, just FYI, it's not to say that there's not work that needs to be done and an effort put into it, but and then also, of course, it's maintaining it, because there's always the people or the energies in the bushes that want to destroy the peace and the tranquility that you've built. And our government needs to quit making our information public to the public. So, this is the reason why I kind of dropped out of the election because I'm like, they're not really addressing the real issues anyway. Part of the reason why this country has been in trouble is because of people doing things like that. I don't know if that's a part of what helps our government. I can't imagine. Whatever. I just. All I know is that the reality that I live in as a shaman, the government, they help me, they work for me, and I'm not on any government benefits, but my government ain't able to hurt me or do harm to me. That's all I know. And I ain't about to be all emotional about it or nothing. Like I said, if I feel like with the election coming up, and it's coming up very soon here, I'm going to be satisfied with either outcome. And get ready, guys. Make sure that y'all get in the Yule Circle. Please try to get in my Yule Circle before they announce the results of the election. I'm telling when I tell y'all warnings like that, it's not the air. It's going to be so much negativity. And when you're in my circles, I can cover you. You understand what I'm saying? Because when they announce who wins, it's going to be, even people that don't practice spiritual work, just their breath, the things that they say is going to travel on a mass level in the air. And you guys, you want to be protected from that, because technically we're not even supposed to be worried about that. That's like that's that yeah, people are going to be upset, people are going to be mad, and we just want to be out of that, because you know what, we're going to make the best of whoever wins. And not everybody looks at it that way. So don't they announce the election results on the 5th or something, and it's going to distract from 11/11. 11/11 is a very powerful spiritual day. So try to get into my Yule Circle. Even if you guys need to pay the 60% down, go ahead and do it now. That's why Spirit opened it up. And, and Spirit is working on them to make sure that they don't do harm for the most part. But it's not them, it's the people, it's their opinions, it's like I said, it's the steam that comes from their bodies, and it's going to be all over traveling. And I just, we need to be in a space, a healthy space when that happens, because it is going to be a trip. And I don't want to feel cramped up and tight, and I refuse to do it. We're going to maintain the peace and the serenity and the tranquility. And then also, we have very baneful protection from our personal enemies, who are going to use that as an opportunity to attack you personally. They gonna act a fool. Everybody gonna act a fool. They just, and I'm like, shield by, uh try to touch me and my loved ones. If you won't, you're gonna get blasted. You're gonna get blasted. It's like I said, Unica, whoever wins, whatever, people are going to be tight and pressed. That's going to be hell day. Election day, when they announce the results, it's going to be hell. In my circle, we are going to stay in utopia. All that crud that's going to be going on, I haven't done a reading on it yet. I probably will do a reading for the United States to see what is going to be in the air. And like I said, you need to understand that you can control the quality of your own air. I can help your air at any time. At any time, just I can burn a sage stick outside, and my spirits are coming at you to purify. Exactly, we're gonna have our safety net, because it just is like, oh my god, they it's like people want to feel bad. Like, why do you like that? Like, what is the problem? People that have an emotional attachment to that are going to be sending out a lot of negative frequencies, because people do that at work. When you at work, they're going to be fussing and really feeling some type of way. And I'm sorry, isn't it November the 5th or something like that when they're going to announce it? I just want to be protected from the negativity. That's all I know. My name is Bennett, and I ain't in it. These people be real emotional, but and it's gotten worse. And this election has been really traumatizing, y'all, because like, I don't hate Donald Trump. I don't hate Kamala Harris. I don't hate these people. They can't do nothing to hurt me. I know that Trump's economy was busting when he was president. I will tell you that. I will. That's all I know. It was busting. But then again, it's still an example of codependency, because when it comes to the government, you don't want to be codependent on the government and what they do. No wealthy or rich person has done that ever, right? And yeah, they may say, well, your taxes are 2% more, and people are like, oh, I don't want it. I got a mill. It's people out there that got hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank, and they don't want to spend $200 extra on their taxes per year. So and I'm not judging those people. I'm just giving y'all an example. So, but then again, I don't hate Kamala. Now, what I will tell you is that some of the things that they were talking about, as far as with the migrants and stuff like that, to me, that part right there, might be a problem, especially if dangerous criminals are being allowed in the country and they're not just committing blue collar crimes, but they're committing white collar crimes, and they're doing things very unorthodox, and especially if they come from a poor country, and they're willing to steal from people and all of that jazz and stuff, that can be harmful. So I think that that part within itself is what gives Kamala the losing advantage. But on that day, so today is what, today's the third. We're 2 days from the election. Get in the Yule circle, because it's a lot of spontaneous curses that are going to happen that day. It's going to be random curses, along with the people that already got a problem with you. So, I'm just telling y'all, cover yourself. And if you say, well, Jamila, I don't necessarily feel like I need to get in your circle to do it, I'm just telling you to cover yourselves in 2 days, okay? And we have a lot of amazing stuff for our circle. Like I work every. What else do I have to do? I don't have anything else to do. Just sit here and be the oracle. That's what oracles do. We spend, a certain amount of our time, doing the work for our people. This is what we do. And that's what I'm saying. And so a lot of my witches, they work jobs, and so they are rest assured that because a lot of my clients are witches, a lot of them, and healers and shamans. So, and they have to work, or either they may need just backup or support or whatever, because that's pretty much what I do every day. Okay. Especially during these times. And so we can't just say, oh, well, people will say, well, I don't celebrate that, but that doesn't mean that we're still not dealing with the energies and the vibrations of what is to come with that, because people get very, very emotional, and a lot of their trauma comes to the surface, especially during the holidays, especially if they grew up and they saw their cousins get a bunch of Christmas gifts and they didn't get them, and they're dealing with that trauma, and it just, whatever it is, we want to be in the holiday spirit, which is um like, for example, of the year that my mother passed away. We literally had, I got some Dollar Tree toys the day after Christmas, because the stores had closed, and we had a nice dinner. I think we had like a chicken dinner, and that night we had food to eat, and I got a few toys for Jacob, a few, things, gave my daughters a little bit of Christmas money. But we were in the holiday spirit, and it was beautiful. It was love. And that is something to be cherished. Don't get stuck on, oh, I spent $5,000 on so and so this Christmas. And, well, that's nice. But did you have any holiday spirit? No, I was miserable the whole day. Well, honey, you got to understand that Christmas and Yule is not about. So we're going to be in the holiday spirit. Okay. And I know that our Christmas this year is going to be amazing. It don't have nothing to do with my mother's money. Business is great. And, I love and respect, and I'm very grateful for all of my clients and students, is what I will tell you. Yeah, you look. They just be. And it's like, but what about the spirit? Because, and who taught me about the holiday spirit was my grandmother. Oh my God. And she'll be here with us too. She will. I'm going to try to forgive my uncle for throwing out all of her Christmas decorations. She had boxes and stacks of them of different colors. She had her iridescent pink, her iridescent silver, her gold, her regular green that she had collected. Those were collective items. I'm going to try to forgive him this Christmas. I am. I'm going to try to forgive him today. But I remember my grandmother every year. I would ask her, I say, Grandma, can we put up the tree? Yeah, you can. And her spirit, my grandmother's spirit was so beautiful, and she loved her grandchildren, and she was very proud of her grandchildren. She would always brag about us to people, and I love that lady so much, and she's the one that taught me about that because it was just so peaceful and enduring, and you could just sit with my grandmother and drink a cup of coffee, and you just felt safe and secure. You know, my grandmother, she so her my grandmother had a boyfriend that she was with for 20 years, and he was I loved him too. He was an amazing guy, and I think that he passed away of cancer. I'm not sure if he's alive or not, but he was so nice and kind to her family. But you know, she trying to think of the point that I was making with that. She was amazing, is all that I gotta say. Is that that lady was amazing, and she just it we even oh that's what it was. They didn't live together. They did not live together. They lived separately. He lived in his house. She lived in hers, and her, you know, the way she was making sure that her children and her grandchildren, that she was a security, that she was a foundation for us, is the one thing. And even though she did not live with her boyfriend of over 20 years, it was still this very stable energy and strength about her, and that's something that I will never forget. That, you know, it I carry it with me. I will carry that with me. And I just, it was so happy when my grandmother passed away. It was so sad that I had to disassociate, because it was so many happy nostalgic times with her. Like, just living in her house was just so amazing, you know. And and now, I keep her spirit with me, I do. And believe it or not, you got to protect your ancestors out here, you know what I'm saying? So don't want to spend money, just don't. Well, you know what, it's like I said, I can see myself doing it big for many, many Christmases. But you know what? Those Christmases where, or Xmas where, I had little to nothing, those Christmases were still special because my family was safe. I was with the people that I love, that were most important to me. I was happy. I was healthy, watching my Christmas movies. So, that's just the type of person I am. But yeah, there's going to be a point in time when I'm in my six fireplace house, which my dude said, how you going to have six fireplaces, Jamila? How you going to do that? You can't put six fireplaces in one house. But there is going to be a time when I'm going to have like a 7, 8 foot fireplace, but it's still going to be the same energy. It's still going to be that genuine energy that is not going to get lost, to where I'm going to be by my 8 foot tree with my 8 foot fireplace, tall fireplace, and it's still going to be the same energy. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all understand what I'm saying? So many people get money and they lose that. And that's something that I'm never going to lose. And I'm a fight for it. And I did fight for it. So, the people that I have chosen as friends, they know who they are. They're going to be able to come see me if they want. And that Christmas joy is going to be there. And I love to share, well, Xmas. I keep calling it Christmas because, but it doesn't matter. but it's gonna be there. But it'll, I'll be in basically my own chateau by the lake. Okay, but it's still gonna be a house of love, not confusion. And and because a lot of people look at money as money being the root of all evil. I don't have that relationship with money, and you got to check your relationship with money. You got to look at that. Do you want money just so that you can impress other people? No. You want money so that you can afford to at least provide a decent meal to your family, or a decent home that's not filled with mold. You know, you want to have money to where if you need your vents cleared out, you know, you can pay somebody to do that, and then next thing you know, you got clean air. It's not about bragging to somebody or competing with somebody that like, that's not me at all. No, no. And so far it seems like, and it seems that way. People with money kind of tend to stay away from social media. And social media is an integral part of my business. And so I have to keep the integrity with that, and I always will, regardless of people that tried to take my integrity. I still have it. Okay. You can't control that. Okay. But, um, yeah, exactly. But it's not about that. It's not about because if somebody, like, if I had a cool million in the bank, nobody that I know would be struggling. So anyway, guys, I gotta go. Peace and love to y'all. Oh yeah, it's definitely gonna be very, very nice. And then people typically, when you have those past pains, because sometimes you'll get that echo of trauma. My house, and I don't know if it is because of the fact that I'm a healer, or it's just naturally how I am. When people step into my house, if they bring it in trauma with it hits differently. Especially since I've gotten a little bit older. Nobody comes in my house and gets to acting a fool because they traumatized. Nobody. They work through that trauma. And it doesn't matter where I live, that's here too. And I think that that's the environment that my spirits want to build for me, because it's necessary, not just for my well-being, but my family's safety and protection as well, because they do not like the way these people treat healers. Like, they are just like, that is not cool at all. Like, y'all making a mistake. And I hate to say it, but those people will be regretful. But sadly, people need to go through things to learn lessons. I didn't really have enough time to discuss karma versus justice, which they are similar but two separate things. And we are going to discuss that. I might go ahead and upload a video explaining what karma versus justice is. So we'll talk about that. I'm going to go for now, though, y'all. It's almost midnight. It's almost Monday. So, yeah. Anyway, y'all have a blessed evening. Okay. And if you guys want to join my Yule Circle, visit divineservicesapothecary.com, or you guys can cash at me. Okay. All right, guys. Blessings. Hit that thumbs up. Also, I appreciate it. It helps with that Al Gore rhythm. Al Gore. Uh-huh. That's like an Ebonics word. They made that word up. Is that even a part of the regular English language algorithm? What is that? And I don't even. That's a new word. Okay, guys, I'll check y'all later. Blessings to y'all. Bye bye.